Hello everyone, today will be the first of many videos, I hope, of dinosaur reviews on my channel, or dinosaur model slash figure reviews. Now today I do want to look at the Papo Ceratosaurus, which is quite an old figure because it came out in 2016, so it's about 6 years old now, it's 2022. And I think it's always struck me as a very interesting figure because it's not. I don't think it's meant to be a showstopper, but it it definitely grabs your attention. It's a really good Ceratosaurus figure. So we have like the Nanmu Once and Future King T-Rex, and we have Nick the Ceratosaurus from PNSO, and they're all showstoppers. Like they're giant models that just fit on your shelf really well. Well, not fit on your shelf really well, but rather they go on a shelf display really well. I've got them over there, but I'll review them another time. For now, I really want to take a look at the details of this figure. The paint scheme and the various parts of the sculpt, to dive into why I think that this is a really good, eye-catching model. I think it's actually really unique in some ways. So let's just get a size comparison. It's not like, well, to my hand here, you can get an idea of the size of my hand a little bit. It's not like a huge model. It's actually fairly small for Papo, I think, because they have the running T-Rex, green running T-Rex, which I have. They have the Therizinosaurus, which I don't have. They're fairly large models, and this is they dwarf this model in comparison. So it's a really small, nice, eye-catching figure. Now let's look at the head sculpt. So we have. This is one of the points I wanted to make about the Ceratosaurus because it's interesting. It really is. As you can see, it has this the teeth on here. You have the scale detail um, uh, just above the teeth there, and then you can see that it alternates between a really light green and black spots with the paint, and I think that combined with the way the teeth are, it just makes the mouth from at least a distance look like an absolute mess. I don't know, it just doesn't. To me, the mouth just doesn't. It doesn't blend well. It doesn't. It just makes makes the mouth look like a mess to me. I don't. That's one of the things I don't like about this figure. But that's really not the main thing. The main thing I want to talk about with this, because it's, as I said, it's a really good model overall. It's got really good muscular. You can see the muscular kind of tension here, with the below the eyes, and you can see that there's an articulated jaw. Of course, Papo make the really good articulated jaws, and you can see that it actually looks a bit better with the paint above the teeth on the upper jaw and below the teeth on the lower jaw, when the mouth is open. So it looks really good like that. It's kind of like a nice little diorama piece, you could say. Inside the mouth, we have some really nice details. Kind of just one really shading with the paint, as you can see. So, but that's a detail you can kind of overlook with many figures, really. Unless you're just a sucker for how the inside of mouths look on dinosaur models and figures. PNSO are really good for that though. So if you're into that, go for that brand. But one other thing I wanted to go over with the head is this really bony, the way they've really kind of emphasized the bony crests, and made it really clear that they're distinct from the skin of the scales of the dinosaur, I should say. And the structure of it kind of runs down here, past the eyes and around the eyes even. It makes it look really good, and in a way it kind of it makes the dinosaur look a bit bolder. If you view it from the front here, you can kind of see it makes it look almost like a trident, like almost like a king with a crown. So it looks really good. Really into that actually. So on the other side, it's pretty much the same story. You have really kind of messy jaw area. It makes it look really messy with the paint and the teeth. I don't know what it. I can't. I've said some points about it with the paint and the teeth, but I really can't pinpoint what it is about the jaw. The mouth area that I don't like when the jaw is closed. But yeah, we have the similar story about the other side of the head sculpt. The Ceratosaurus is not ever so slightly looking to the right if you view it from this side of the model. So there's a little bit more stretch on the neck area, but there's not really much to note, to be honest. You've got some long arms, and the paint is, well, I don't know. I don't know what you'd say, to be honest, about this paint. It looks okay. Kind of makes it look like it's got gloves on or something now that I look at it, because you have this. Oh, I'm not good with my colors, but beige, and then you got just black, and it. I don't know. When I look at it now, it's not too great, but yeah, it is quite an abrupt paint change there when you go down the arms and then to the hands of the dinosaur. So moving down the dinosaur, you can see that it's actually it's actually quite chunky. I didn't expect that from a Ceratosaurus. To be honest, I've never really taken it to be a really chunky dinosaur. I don't know why. I'm not exactly sure on the paleo accuracy of this dinosaur in regards to this figure, but I know that Papo aren't really too hot on that. They're more into kind of JP style dinosaur figures, but I'll probably learn a bit more about that as I go on and research a bit more. But yeah, it's a fairly chunky figure, which I kind of like actually. The bigger the figure is to me, the better. It's a plus side for me. I do like it. I think it's a very well proportioned figure, and I could say the same point about the tail. Really, I just think if you just set it in the front and just look at it, it looks really good. I think in terms of proportion, nothing looks too out of place. Yeah, it just all looks pretty good to me in terms of proportion. You have some spikes that go all the way down, and it goes all the way down to the end of the figure here, to the tip of the tail, which I don't know. I think it's nice. I like it. I don't really have any objection to that. To be perfectly honest, I think Papo can go a bit overboard sometimes with the way that they design some of their dinosaurs. I mean, I don't know. Let me think. Even though the Therizinosaurus looks it's like a really big model. I appreciate them going to the effort to make that. I haven't got it, but it does. I don't know. I feel like some of Papo's models are a little, you could say, over designed, but I guess that's because they're more stylized than other scientifically accurate models like the ones that PNSO provide. Maybe I'm wrong though. But to be honest, the spikes, whatever you think of them on the back, don't look very objectionable. They're not really that noticeable when you're looking at the figure, and even when you're holding it, it's fine. there you can see there's some visible seams at the back here. On the back, it's just running along the front of the legs, where the leg joint is, there. And you can also kind of make out, I think, where was it? There was a seam that I saw. I think it's going down here. You can just see it. It's really hard to see. But I think that's a seam as well. So it's kind of like the dinosaur was kind of put together in 3 parts. It was this part, and then this part here, the tail. But again, it's not really something I noticed too much about the figure. It's sculpted in a really nice kind of stalking pose. So when you put it down, it's quite, it looks like it's hunting for something, which is nice. I always like it when dinosaurs look like they're active. Looks more realistic to me, and I think that's part of why it has this shelf presence to it, even though it's such a small figure. And yeah, the tail is nice. It again, it's well proportioned. I think for just purely based on aesthetics of the model, I think it looks nice. It's well proportioned, like I said. Now the paint is well, I think it's really good. It's hit and miss for me. Really, I'm not someone who necessarily pays attention to the paint too much on a lot of figures, as long as it's good and or decent. I'm not too fussed. I'm more the thing that I focus on more on models is the detail, and as you can see, it's got some amazing detail in the head and in the body. You can see all the scales, and you can see all the scales, like big and small on the head, and even on the neck. You can see going down the arms and on the hands, on the feet. You can see them everywhere if you look closely. So it's got some really nice scale detail. But in terms of the paint, on the underside you have like a beige all around. And then there's like this light green that sometimes I really like what it looks like on the thighs of the dinosaur, actually, because it has this like it transitions into like a goldy sort of color, which fades into like a gold color, which is really nice. I really like that on the thighs there. I don't know why. It's a weird placement now that I think about it. It's kind of random, but I really do like it. I think it emphasizes the muscle of the dinosaur and the leg muscles. And then on top we have like a darker green, and as we go down, you can go down the figure. You could see that it's kind of transitions from one big grouping to like smaller stripes, and then it goes all the way down to the tip of the tail there. There are a few little bits here, of course. But yeah, the Papo Ceratosaurus, an amazing model, I think. The only thing that holds it back for me is the way the mouth looks. If I could just bring it in here, I mean, I don't know, it just looks wrong with those black spots. I wish they'd have painted it in another way to highlight the mouth. To be honest, I'm not really sure what that would have been. I honestly don't know. I think the scales on the head could have been painted a bit better, especially near the teeth, maybe. It's just about the spots, but it's why I have this figure's mouth open quite a lot, because I think then it kind of solves the problem of the mouth being kind of messy. It just looks like a disorganized mess when it's closed. I don't know. I just don't like it. That's the mouth. But the whole figure is really, really good. You can get it from Everything Dinosaur for about $17.99. That's in Great British pounds. Not really sure how much it would be in dollars. It probably not too much more. But yeah, it's a really decent model, really detailed, great paint scheme. I would say that it's quite a little bit quite expensive compared to some other types of figures you can get um, with good detail and good paint schemes like in Collect A. But Papo does provide you with very high quality figures. Even though they're affordable, they're still they're still fairly expensive compared to some other brands. As I said, like Collect A, and even Schleich in some cases. Schleich definitely, I would say, has some figures that could come down in price. But yeah, it's it's a great figure, and I really like it, and I would recommend it to you absolutely.